Hello, everybody. Interviews with the Iceman. Welcome to another edition. I'm really excited today. Be talking to top 40 new country artist, Georgia. And we have another guest with her, my man Snake Rock. Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you.
Iceman.
Hey, Snake. What's
Thanks
up,
for having
brother?
us.
Thank you guys for calling in and taking the time and having the fans listen to you guys and what you guys have going on. But, no, I appreciate the time, as always. And I want to ask you, what's been keeping you guys busy lately? And I know we could probably have a whole list of things, but what's going on for the immediate future with you, Georgia?
Right now we're really in a writing stage. Snake and I write so well together, and we're just writing more songs and getting a bigger repertoire, and just really, really excited for things to come.
Keep working hard. Now, let me ask you, because I hear a lot of people that write, and what's the scenario that you guys write in? Can you guys be driving down the street and pull over and come up, or are you guys in more of a controlled setting? I mean, when you guys do that, what do you get the most out of it? Do you have to be sitting in a room closed, or?
I don't think there's necessarily like a time. If Snake comes up with a really awesome idea, he'll write it down and I'll write it down. And we'll get together and we'll collaborate on our ideas and work something out that's just incredible. So I really think it's just, it's like individual thoughts, but then we come together and we just put our individual thoughts and make them into these lyrics.
There you go.
And it's really cool how it works, actually.
Wow. Now tell me, Georgia, a little about where you're from.
I'm from Seven Hills, Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, Is that you spent all your life there?
Yeah.
Seven Hills. Now, where is geography wasn't my strongest lesson. Okay, if I'm in Cincinnati or Cleveland,
It's a suburb of Cleveland.
there you go. See, that was easy.
Yeah.
Little history lesson. So,
And I live in Rocky River. I'm about 20 minutes from where Georgia and her family live.
nice. Okay, and how did you tell me the story about you two guys? How you two guys met and came across one another?
Yeah. I used to work with this producer, and he told me that I needed guitar lessons, so I went to, he was like, listen, I got this really cool guy. He's a real sweetheart and everything. You can go to him for guitar lessons. So I met Snake, and I started singing, and I started playing, and he really liked it. And I remember my dad telling me that Snake took aside my dad and said, listen, this kid's going to be a rock star. And no one has ever told me that besides from my parents before, let alone this, Cleveland legendary rock star. So I think it was really amazing. And then he just kind of took me under his wing and got me this incredible band to back me. And we started writing songs together, and my voice started getting better, and everything just kind of grew from there. It was incredible.
Now, how long ago did this happen? How long have you guys known?
Maybe like a year and a half.
It's been a year and a half. So you do play guitar?
I do, yeah.
What's your favorite guitar?
What do you mean?
What brand?
I think he wants to know. I think he wants to know the brand.
Yeah. What do you play? A free
I
plug.
play a Fender.
Fender?
Acoustic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I got a real pretty blue one and a real pretty red one.
and you're lucky too, man, because I seen some stuff with Snake online, man. You got a good teacher there.
I know. I'm very
Thank
blessed.
you.
I'm very
Thank
blessed.
you. One of the first songs that actually I think it was the first song. Only within about a month or so, or not even, I said, "Why don't you play me some of the stuff that you've been working on, some of your music?" And she played me a bit of a song, and I said, "Well, that's very good. Why don't you try this with it?" And I added a little part to it, and that's how Crying Within was born. That was, I think, the first song that we ever wrote together.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's a good segue. You know what?
I thought so.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. Good job. Hey, listen, I think you got to come on this side of the mic, Snake. Yeah, I'm going on vacation in a couple of weeks. You fly down and fill in for me?
I'd be delighted to.
Great to have you. Why don't we do this? This is Georgia. Name of the song's Crying Within. Interviews with the Iceman.
So hard to keep the secrets when you're smiling but crying within. She found love with her best friend. He pledged his love to the end. And she got scared and pushed him away. Well, he dug his heels and he stayed. Been together now for many years. He held her tight and calmed all her fears. And all he wanted was life to begin. But she's smiling and crying with him. And all she ever wanted was to make him proud. And all she ever wanted was to stand out in the crowd. Well, he went and did all he could, tried to save her, he knew he should. And she wanted what she didn't have. All he wanted was it to last. She took a leap of faith. She made a house into a home. They looked into each other's eyes. She's no longer crying with him. She's no longer crying with him.
You got the Iceman, interviews with the Iceman in the studio. We got Georgia and her writer, her band member and friend, my man Snake Rock. You tell me a little about Crying Within. You said you guys wrote it together. Is there a, just tell me about the song itself.
Well, we originally wrote it for my sister who was going through like a real hard time. You know how that goes. So we wrote it, and yeah, it's really for her. It's really special to me. It's really special. I think to Snake and I mean, it's sentimental because it's it's our first song together, and I love playing it every time. It's like
I
a
do
slow
too.
down song.
I love playing that song.
I remember when we my papa took Snake and I and my mom to Nashville, and we walked in. My papa's crazy. He has us play everywhere we go. If there's a guitar and a mic, we're playing.
There you go.
I think you should tell Iceman a little bit about Papa. He's 85 years old.
Wow.
And he's George's grandfather, and he is our biggest supporter. And as Georgia said, he goes virtually everywhere with us. He went to Los Angeles with us. He's been to Nashville with us several times, and he's just he's on board for everything that we do. He's a wonderful man, and we love him dearly.
Are you bringing him to Nashville for the CMA event?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I look forward to
yeah.
meeting him then. We're going to have some fun.
Every time I see him, that's all he talks about. He's like, I can't wait to go to Nashville. When are we going to Nashville? When it makes sense.
Great.
He's always talking about you.
Good. Oh, I can't wait to meet him. That'll be fun. Tell me about your musical influences, Georgia. I know a few of them because I mentioned it on the air the other night, but tell me some of your influences.
Thank you for that. That was very, very unreal. I've always, since I was little, I've loved Dolly Parton. I love her so much. Carrie Underwood and Miranda Lambert, too. So I guess I love older country music, like the classics like Patsy Cline, LeAnn Rimes, Dolly Parton. But I love the newer country, too, with like Carrie Underwood, Miranda Lambert, Faith Hill. I don't really know. But, yeah, I would say my biggest influences are like Carrie Underwood and Dolly Parton. I love what they stand for.
Right. Good influences. And, someday, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to ask somebody, I'm going to be real old, though. I'm going to say, well, who do you look up to? They're going to say, I look up to that Georgia. Because you're on a good track. Now, I say it. I enjoy what you're for and what you're doing, and how you put your heart into things, and even the video that you have out that we'll talk about in a little bit. You know, you keep doing what you're doing. I want to know a little bit about the band because I always read about, you know, when I'm on the website or I see about the band. Tell me a little about the whole band.
They're all from Cleveland, and they're just absolutely incredible. I mean, I feel so safe all the time. They're like older brothers, uncle kind of people, you know what I mean? And they're incredible musicians. They're great.
Good. Now you got some other stuff going on. Tell me a little about Dan Catullo and the DC3 Music Group, because I know you have some stuff going on with them.
Dan Catullo is a longtime friend of mine. I met him when I lived in Los Angeles years ago, and we became friends. And Dan is a mover and a shaker, and when he gets a hold of something, he doesn't quit until he gets it done. And Dan and I have had conversations over the years about my music and stuff. And when I met Georgia and we started to work together, it wasn't long before I told Dan about my endeavor with Georgia. And I said, listen, you're a filmmaker, you're a video producer. If we can get out to Los Angeles, would you consider shooting a video of Georgia? And he said, sure. He goes, it's not going to be free, but, we'll see what we can do. Well, we got out to L.A., and it was a really professional crew that he had, some of the people that he works with.
I felt like such a rock star.
Well, Avi Cohen, who's worked on Rage Against the Machine and Godsmack and a lot of big-time Alter Bridge, White Snake, a lot of big-time videos. He was on site there, and he was the assistant director with Dan, and we had a really high-end makeup gal there who Jenny Chu, who did the makeup for Lady Gaga, and she did makeup for Miley Cyrus and Madonna, a lot of big names. She did the makeup for Georgia, and we had a wardrobe gal there. And there was about 20 crew members in this sound stage. And when I think Dan, he didn't really know what to expect of Georgia, but when they started to roll the camera and he saw what she could do, he realized that she was the real deal. And he just, he fell in love with Georgia, and he took me aside and he said, don't you worry about the cost of this. I got this. And Dan paid for this video, which would have been an extremely expensive endeavor.
Wow.
And we were just honored that happened. And he even went one step further, and he flew into the Cleveland area here. We went to the Seven Hills area where George is from, and he brought in a film crew from Cleveland there, which he directed. And this was all on his nickel. I mean, this would have been impossible for us to afford something like this. So we were just so blessed and so honored to have him on board for that. And he's a wonderful guy. And he's also going to be working with us very closely here in the near future to take Georgia to the next level.
Well, good. And I'll tell you, he is. I had conversation with Dan, and I'm hoping to meet up with him soon. I know he's on both coasts. He travels a lot, and hopefully I get to meet up with him because he does seem like a real special guy, and hopefully I'd get to meet him.
He really is,
thank
Bobby.
him for what he does.
Such a nice guy.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about the song Blue for You off of the 6-shooter CD. I know Georgia and Snake both wrote it. Tell us a little about the song before we play it.
For you, like I said, when we went to Nashville, the first time I was listening and I was kind of just taking it all in, and I noticed like some of the older country, kind of like Patsy Cline, honky tonk like music, and I was like, I really want to do something like that. Mm-hmm. So we wrote Blue for You, and I just love this song. I look forward to singing it every single time we play. My mom loves it. I think it's a real hit. I love this song.
Great.
Well, interesting.
Go ahead, Snake.
An interesting side note on Blue for You. that was a blues progression that that I had never even tried before. And I don't know where that came from, but some of the chord changes in that song just sort of came to me, which was very unusual because I'd never written in that particular progression before.
Right.
And that made it kind of special.
Well, great. Why don't we play it right now? This is off the 6-shooter CD. Name of the song is Blue for You. Interviews with the Iceman and talking to Georgia and Snake Rock.
I've been so lonely, thinking about you. Where did you run to? Is somebody with you? Now I'm so blue, yeah, blue for you. You left your bags here. Where did you go, dear? Where did you run to? Is somebody with you? Now I'm so blue, yeah, blue for you. You found someone new, playing those games with you. Shame, shame, shame on you. I'm done missing you. Well, I'm done kissing you. Yes, I'm done missing You said you needed me, then you cheated me. But shame, shame, shame on me. I was a fool, well, a fool for you. What am I supposed to do? I've been so lonely, thinking about you. Where did you run to? Is somebody with you? Now I'm so blue, yeah, blue for you. Oh, na 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 na, na na na, do do do. You found someone new, playing those games with you. Well, shame, shame, shame on you. I'm done missing you. Well, I'm done kissing you. Yes, I'm done missing you. I've been so lonely, thinking about you. Where did you run to? Is somebody with you? Now I'm so blue, yeah, blue for you.
Interviews with the Iceman. That was Blue for You. Speaking of Georgia at Snake Rock today. Guys, man, I got to tell you, you're up to number 8 on the top 40. Man, you got it going on. The song's starting to gain a lot of momentum along with you. and I know that's the video you did. Tell us a little about the video shoot for the song Alone With You.
Well, there was two parts, like Snake said. The one in California, we didn't really know, at least Dan had this whole vision, and we totally trusted him. And I never really have done something like that. All my life, I've been on stage. I never really done anything in film before, so I didn't know how I was going to react to the cameras and all of these people in my face and stuff. But I went to California, and all these lights came out of me, and this big camera was in my face, and it was amazing. I honestly felt like I was a superstar.
Oh,
and then when they said that they were going to fly out to Ohio, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, not only is he like doing all of this for me, but he's going to fly out here to finish it,
Right.
And he's so busy, and he has so many things to do, so many projects, and the fact that he's taking so much time to make things happen for me and like make my dreams come true for nothing, like that just kind of blows my mind. Like, that's how you know he has real faith in me, and
Right.
it's an undescribable feeling.
Well,
when we did the
No, go ahead.
Well, when we did the Ohio shoot, I had my friend who actually lives in LA now. He's going to be an actor, Cameron McKendry. I've known him forever, and he's a fantastic actor. So I asked him if he wanted to be in the video, and he did an incredible job. Everyone, the extras, it was freezing outside. It was Cinco de Mayo, and I remember it was so cold, and everyone, they were just troopers. They stayed all night, and it was amazing.
Right. Well, it's funny because I hear you talk, and I hear the, not the surprisement, but I hear the, like, you can't believe he's doing this and this one. Man, you're making things happen, and you deserve it. And when you work hard and you follow your dreams, things happen. So it's funny because I hear the tone in your voice like you're still in a dream.
Exactly.
And I even read on, even if people go to your website, they get to read a little about how, you're dreaming, how you think you dreamed in music or how you said you dreamed in music. And, I hear it in your voice. It's great to hear that because it's like the humbleness, like, oh my God, I'm doing this and I can't believe it's happening. But, it is. And even the first time I heard Alone With You, I believe Snake sent it over to me, way back when. And I've been a fan of the song and what you're doing.
Thank
And,
you.
just keep it up. Now, Six Shooter is what you sent me. Are you guys working on a new album?
Yes,
Okay.
we're collaborating on new songs right now. We've got some really exciting new tunes that we're going to put on the new album. We're probably going to rework some of the Six Shooter album, get a little bit more up to date, and use some of those songs as well.
Right.
Now, since we added a full-time fiddle player to the band who is a Cleveland area legend. His name is Tommy Brame, and Tommy was a guitar player that I knew from way back, about 35 years ago. My band, Snake Rock, used to open for a band called Moonlight Drive that Tommy was a part of, and they were a Doors tribute band, and they were one of the very first tribute bands doing anything, and they were huge, not just here, but all over the country. Those guys toured, and they were a very big band, and I ended up doing about 50 shows as Tommy's opening act. And for us to be in touch and working together is really a kick after all these years. And he just loves Georgia. He loves all the guys are just so supportive of Georgia because she has the goods. She has what it takes to do it. And she's just such a great gal and a great friend to be around.
Great.
Thank
See,
you.
there you go. See, there's that humbleness,
we don't
Georgia.
treat-
You keep that forever. Love it.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't treat Georgia like a kid. I mean, we were very respectful of the fact that she's a young lady, and we're a bunch of dirtbag old rockers and stuff. But on the other hand, we treat her very much as an equal. And I remember telling Georgia when we were in the studio, we were in the recording studio with some pretty heavy cats, and I just said to Georgia, I said, listen, the reason that you're here is you're just as good as we are. And I meant that.
Right.
And I still mean that. She's a incredible talent, and that's why I gravitated towards her. I was just so blown away. I've never done something like this before where I was actually, the backup musician, but I just was so taken by Georgia and her talent and her personality, frankly, that I really was excited about working with her, and that excitement has never changed. It just keeps getting more and more
exciting.
There you go.
Yeah, more and more exciting.
Well, see, that shows you that was your songwriting thing. Snake was a little hung up waiting, and Georgia just popped in with that word.
Yeah, see that?
Great.
See how that works?
That works great. Now, Georgia, how old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
16. Wow.
Yeah.
I was 16 4 years ago. 40 years? No. Many years ago. 16 years old. Wow. And you just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Let me ask you a couple of things. Now, I want to thank you, first of all, the Christmas song you sent over, where you incorporated Fazo and myself in it. I want to thank you for that. You didn't have to incorporate him in it. He got a big head.
No, it was a blast. I loved it.
Yeah, I thank you for that. And then I saw you put a little, couple of sentences up on Facebook a couple of days ago, about the Iceman, which I kind of like that. And maybe you can make a song out of that one.
Maybe, yeah.
That's
you're always in our thoughts, Iceman.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Means a lot. That really does. Now, before we play your last song, Alone with You, why don't you tell us a little about it as far as the writing part of it?
Okay, so my guitar player and my bass player, Russell Bombick and Dave Brownweber, they write these songs, but they don't have lyrics for them. And they sent Snake this song, and little did I know, Snake is writing, and I'm writing. And I sat down. This was one of those where I've never done this before. So I kind of took it as, like, fate. But I sat down, and I wrote an entire song in, like, a half hour.
Wow.
And that just doesn't happen. I mean, with some, like, changes, as like Snake came in and revised some things and made it 10 times better.
Not much, though. Not much. I want to say something about this. I had written, like, I had the title of the song, and I had, like, a sort of the chorus to Alone with You. And it's not that I didn't have faith in George's writing, but I just thought I'll give this song to her and see what she can do with it.
Right.
And she sent me some little video snippets that she did of herself, little videos of her doing this song. And I really didn't spend much time listening to it. Well, I went back like the next day. This is the day after I gave her this song with no lyrics on it, no voice. And I just thought, why would I want to do anything different to what this is? It was so good, and the melody was so strong. I didn't write that. I did not write that melody in that song, and nor did I write any of those lyrics,
right,
other than the chorus. Georgia wrote that entire song herself, and she was 15 years old when
Wow.
she did that.
Wow, it's amazing. Amazing. And, like I said, number 8 now on the top 40. When this interview
That's
plays,
crazy.
it's going to be higher. It's making that trend. So you did a great job. Before we play the song and we close it out, tell the fans listening where they can find you.
You can go on my website, which is www.georgiagirl.us, and all my videos are on there, and all my music, and merchandise, everything's on there. It's an incredible website. It's
There you
really
go.
Beautiful.
There you go. Well, that's great. And like I said, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to speak to me. Georgia and Snake, you guys keep up the great work. I see a lot of good things happening.
It's an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. What a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
So much.
I
Thanks for all
appreciate
the
it.
good wishes, too.
Thank you. And right now, we're going to close it out. This is the top 40 song from Georgia. Name of it, it's Alone with You. Interviews with the Iceman. Take care, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.